All right, Mrs. Speed Bump.
Yes.
We're wrapping up our first week legit living in the Micro Minnie FLX. So season's coming to a close as we're down here in the Smokies. So, how would you grade the Micro Minnie FLX?
B plus.
Yeah, I think I'd probably give them an A minus, and for the most part, it's really just been just kind of the annoyance of trying to figure out the flex package, the settings that were not set correctly. I mean, it wasn't horrible for us, but it still wasn't exactly the best. Let's get the negatives out of the way first, though. So, what are some of your negatives with the flex?
Okay, for me, I would say no blackout shades. I really need that blackout shades.
Yeah. So we got the blackout shades. I know one thing that has caught us both multiple times. So the steps for the Micro Mini, for some reason, when they rolled the edges, they decided to leave them serrated. So I know a lot of times we both have scraped the hell out of the back of our heels and Achilles and everything like that. So that has been less than ideal. Trying to think what some of the other negatives were that we had. I mean, for the most part, it's not bad.
Well, let's talk about the refrigerator.
Oh yeah, the refrigerator, the Dometic fridge.
So the freezer keeps the temperature really well, but the refrigerator not as much. It struggles a little.
Yeah, it's not ideal. You have to max out the fridge to get it to truly work well. So.
Don't forget the other point about the fridge.
Oh yeah, yeah. So if you do not like the shelf configuration, if you have the Dometic fridge in the Micro Mini,
you're screwed.
Yeah, you're gonna have to basically pull the entire refrigerator out to pull the shelves out, readjust them, however you want to do it, because it's just a really bad design, because the door doesn't open far enough to adjust the shelves, and it's not like you can even, lots of roots, it's not like you can even,
pull it.
Well, not just pull it, but unhinge the doors, because you don't have access still to get to the access screws to remove the doors completely if you wanted to. I tried that option, that didn't work.
So if you want it in another configuration, make sure it's done at the dealer before you drive away with it.
Yeah, before you take delivery, have them pull it, make adjustments. Trying to think. Well, I know it's not so much of a negative, but I know we'd like a couple more inches in the back end of the bathroom.
Yeah, it's a little tight getting to the sink, especially for my husband.
Yeah, if you got broad shoulders, it's a little narrow, so I usually just close the door. But obviously adding just a couple more inches to the back end, you're also adding quite a bit of weight to the chassis. So it's kind of it's just one of those things, it's part of the package, and you can obviously opt for some of the other ones, but at least in the 2108 FBS, the back end is a little snug, but it's doable.
Well, and the sink in the bathroom too.
Oh yeah, the faucet is absolutely horrible. For whatever reason, they put a faucet in to where when the stream comes out of the faucet, it hits right at the very back of the sink bowl. So it's usually pretty sloppy in there, even with trying to be careful. So I think really that's about it on the negatives for the trailer.
I mean, so they don't tell you a whole lot about how to set up the different settings.
Oh, for the Truma system?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one you have to go to the manual for sure. And it's not too bad, with the exception of having to set the timer. So we've done that before, where we set it to where it's away. But as I found out once, make sure you actually remember to turn it off. So I didn't realize we had a possessed air conditioning unit, because when I was testing it, I had it to where it came on just for a minute. So there was times where it'd be like, oh, hey, by the way, the fridge just came on. What's going on? I'd be like, no, or not the fridge, the AC.
Yeah, he was blaming me for turning it on, but it was really him.
Well, it is what it is. But I'd forgotten to turn the timer off, so that created a bit of an issue. So I think we had AC kicking on daily for a couple weeks there between trips. But I would say, as far as the Lithionics package, well, So the Flex system in general. So the Truma systems are amazing.
Oh, amazing.
So we have been in the Smokies for a week, and it has been getting down on the 20s and 30s. So we've been running the heat, and we have ran it every day, including cooking, those kind of things. And we still had some other weekends, or some of the other long weekends that we've had, that we've still done cooking and stuff like this. And we have not switched the tank yet. So we still are running off of one tank of propane.
Very efficient.
Have not had to switch it yet. And that's water heater and everything, taking some showers in there off and on through the week. So it's been firing that. And a couple of showers I've taken like a standard shower. The tankless water heater does fantastic. The heater does amazing, extremely efficient. And the AC does fantastic too. So I'm going to take a break because my arm's getting sore. All right. The Truma systems are amazing. And just to give you guys an idea, so we've priced out. So the battery and the inverter. So the battery, I was wrong. I don't know where I got a couple 100 pounds, but it's actually a 68-pound battery. But that battery comes in at a whopping, do you remember?
Like $4,500?
Yeah, so the battery, that 320 amp hour battery is $4,500. The inverter is like another $1,500. So you've got $6,000 wrapped up just in the battery and the inverter alone, not including the upgraded solar plus all the Truma systems. So I know if some people are kind of wondering about the extra premium that you pay for the Flex package, there's half of it right there.
But it is worth it because the boondocking is a very real possibility, and you can still be comfortable.
Yeah, it has done fantastic. In the last one I covered, the really kind of the realistic battery expectations. Just some tips and tricks. You do not need to run the inverter. The only time the inverter needs to be on if you're running a 110 appliance, so microwave, Keurig, those kind of things. If you are running the AC, though, it is, you're going to need a generator. I touched on that. I'm not going to harp on it again. But I know some of the little things we've figured out just to kind of maximize battery life is, so we picked up a little camp percolator coffee pot. So we started using that. And actually that works really well. And it obviously is a nice way to preserve battery life because the Keurig will definitely sap it.
And another little thing we do is we've brought power bricks with us to use to recharge our phones. Why use up the battery from the camper? We'll just use those. Yeah,
so we've got actually it was like a 2-pack deal. And it is INU, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, off of Amazon, INIU. But they're two little lithium battery banks that actually work really well for recharging the phones, the watches. I've used them to recharge some of the camera batteries, so that's a nice workaround. And just some of the Q&As that I know I've gotten from time to time. So the Flex package does not charge off of the truck hookup. So the 7-pin is only for the lights. So it does not handle anything else other than that when it's hooked up. But with just the fridge running, the solar does do a fantastic job keeping that puppy topped off. If it's a sunny day, we'll get to a destination and, we're at full charge. So extremely, extremely efficient. Trying to think, I know some people have complained about the slide, and we've not had issue with it. But I know one thing we've done is we don't load it when we're in transit. So we basically will leave stuff out. We just basically put clothes underneath there anyway, clothes bags. But we don't set them in there because I don't want it bouncing with the weight in there. So we've done that just to kind of make sure the Schwinn Tech doesn't take a beating. And then there is a proper way to take it out and in. But if you're kind of stopping short, you're going to create other issues. But so far, it's been a fantastic unit.
Absolutely. We've loved it.
I know some people have had issues, but outside of having to have the DVD player replaced and what was the other thing? Oh, the trim around the backsplash fixed.
We did replace the mattress with something that was a little more comfortable for us, but that's what a lot of people do anyway when they buy RVs.
Yeah, and we hit that on, I think it was one of the early videos, but I know It's a 12-inch mattress, and it's a little thick. We're actually, because it kind of constrains your space, but I think we're going to try switching it out to probably more of an 8-inch mattress for next season to see how that goes. But the unit is held up absolutely fantastic. I mean, I mean, we truly are happy we went with the Flex package. For the boondocking sake, it really is fantastic. If you're not running the AC, the system's killer. It's totally worth it. The unit has been extremely reliable. We've had really no issues to speak of. It's kind of disappointing that the season's coming to an end.
It really is, and I'm looking forward to next year and what we're going to decide to do then.
So, I mean, we'll be keeping these videos going. I was trying to think if there's any other tips and tricks. I know some people have reached out, but I do want to thank those of you that have pointed us in the right direction with some of the settings with the Xantrex and stuff, because that does make a difference. And, you know, most owners aren't going to think about it. You don't buy a car and then have to program the computer, and that's effectively what some of us are having to do for the most part. But yeah, I mean, it's a great thing, you know. Again, sorry to see the season coming to a close, but anxious to see what we got planned for next year. And all of you, I mean, thanks for watching. You know, again, this is just basically just to help you guys out, as we've kind of been discovering these things, just to help other Flex owners and potential Flex owners. But yeah, I mean, man, I just dropped my pole. Anyways, so anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I think we're at 200 viewers or like subscribers now, which is kind of funny. But anyways, hope to see you guys out there. In the meantime, stay safe.